on TV, Virgin Media Channel 927. On digital radio and 1089 and 1053 AM. Trans-Europe Express on talkSPORT.
Yeah, good evening, everybody, and welcome to this evening's edition of Trans-Europe Express. I'm Danny Kelly. Let that sink in. I know, a voice from the past, in a convoluted, upside-down world, in a COVID-confused community. Here I am, back on Trans-Europe Express, probably only for a week, because the darts is on and Andy's doing the darts. But I said, yeah, go on, I'll give it a go. I think I can make this programme work. I'm delighted to say that in order to make that happen over the next 3 hours, I'm joined by Andy Brassell, without whom, etc. The name above the door in many ways. And then we thought we'd better bring in, we might as well go for the entire Holy Trinity. Kevin Hatchard is here with me as well. Talk to those boys in a minute. We'll be going through all of the big stories from the world of internationals, played behind closed doors, of course, sadly, over the course of the next 3 hours. Then we'll have all the big news from around the continent, when it's the Transfer Whirly gig, which is supposed to be stalled, isn't it, by COVID-19, but shows every possibility of going through the roof. And the last hour, we'll talk to Tim Vickery. We'll talk about what's happening with COVID around the continent, amazing stories from France and the Czech Republic, and much else besides. There'll be music homework for you as well. I imagine it's going to be 3 magnificent hours. I'll leave you to be the judge of that. Welcome to Trans-Europe Express here on talkSPORT. Yeah, just seeing the first things from E and Virgin and O2 saying that the internet in meltdown with the news of my return to Trans-Europe Express. Text, tweets, emails, Instagrams, 2 Tinders, really extraordinary stuff as I make my first few footsteps back onto a show that I used to know so well. Good evening, Kevin.
Good evening.
Thank you very much for joining us. We'll need all of your expertise to help me get through this over the next several hours. And of course, Andy, lovely to see you again.
Likewise, how are you?
I'm very good. Just to make the point, this is also my return to the studio. I would have thought that my entry back into the talkSPORT building, I would have been preceded by hand-picked flunkies throwing petals into my every footstep. In fact, my pass didn't work, and I had a row with the receptionist, to whom I apologise for my lack of patience. I was desperate to get into the building. I'm great, Andy. Yourselves? All good?
Yes,
I mean, we've talked and tweeted and all the rest of it over the last few months, but it's good to see you in the flesh, and in my case, quite a lot of flesh. They closed down the swimming pool in New Ross for the subject of the pandemic. Why don't we get on with the show? I'm glad to see that some of the things that I instigated over the previous 3 or 4 years, including really terrible have-to-be-explained headlines, have survived.